I was like sitting there for like 20 minutes trying to like get my backtracks to work, and it was just like harsh noise static. And the only person who was in the basement was like the dude who was like handing out beers. And I was just like, hey, I was like, like where like anyone is, and like homie's literally on his phone. He looks up, he's like, and then just gets to it. I was like, okay, all right. I was like, well, I'm gonna go.
Welcome to the 181st episode of the Cast that Ends Creation. I'm your host, Chris Deering, and this is the show interview bands and public figures from the Mathcore adjacent community. If you enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, do all the things social. Every little bit helps. And feel free to join us every Sunday and Wednesday for the live cast, so you can interact with the guests in real time or just hang out in the chat. You can also subscribe to this Twitch channel for just $5 to get access to the interviews before they hit YouTube and other streaming platforms, as well as get some exclusive emotes. You can also do that for free by attaching Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. It's like taking $5 from Jeff Bezos' pocket and putting it into mine. My new EP, Unicorn Laser Bubblegum City, is out now on all platforms. Got some sick merch up on my Bandcamp, and also just announced a Southwestern tour hitting the California coast and such. So check all that out. And with all that out of the way, let me introduce our guest today who dropped their new EP, Born From a Wish, back in October. Welcome in, Cory of Zombieshark. How's it going?
Yo, what's up, man? Thank you so much for having me.
Dude, thank you for coming on.
Of course.
So it's been about almost 2 years since you were on here for your last album, I'll Destroy You, Myself and Everything I've Ever Loved. What have you been up to since?
God, it's already been that long.
Right? No, I was looking at it today. I was like, holy shit, it was 2 years? Oh my God.
Oh, dude. Shit. I've been very busy working on a big project right now. So yeah, it's been kind of fucked up that I haven't I'm always stuck with like, oh God, I haven't like released music in like so long, but pretty much within the last like 2 years and probably one more on top of that, I've been working on a new full-length LP. So in between working on this LP, I had a small collection of songs that some weren't going to be on it. Some I had just done a bit faster than the other songs. So I figured like rather than wait like another full year before releasing something massive, I was just going to put out like the lists I had sitting around. So yeah, that's pretty much how it came into being. I've been doing that, and I have like a bunch of other like small music projects I'm working on currently that are all probably going to come out like early next year. So I've in the time that I've been quiet in those 2 years, I've been very busy, and hopefully next year everyone will get to see a lot of the craziness that I've been working on.
Oh yeah. So we're expecting a full length next year then, is what you're saying.
Yes, hopefully next year. I'm hoping by like middle of the year, towards the end, it should be done. If by some crazy chance it's not, then it definitely will be out very early 2024.
So how would you say your music's evolved from your full length?
I'd say that the Born From a Wish songs, some of them were written around the time of I Will Destroy You. I think for Born From a Wish, at least my old producer that we were working on, we were kind of like trying to just like expand, I guess. We were taking the two sides of like the poppy side and then like the more metalcore abrasive side. And I think for going into this EP, at least the songs I was working on, I wanted to take both of those separate genres and just max them out to their fullest. And even in some ways where they're not quite working, I wanted it to be like, okay, we're going to just do full ass pop on one side. We're going to do crazy metalcore on the other side. And we're just going to slap this together in a freaking sandwich and put it out. Because then on songs like Smile Support Society, where, like even when it's super stark, it's like grind moments and then hard cut into like hyper pop bits and then hard cut back into metal. Same with Grim Reaper Gutters. So I think for me, like going into it, I just really wanted to like expand on those kind of elements that were already there on I Will Destroy You. But I feel I Will Destroy You is honestly perfect in the way that everything is layered, but I kind of wanted to push them in a really dramatic way, like, okay, like let's make, both aspects of like my music as ridiculous and abrasive as possible. And that's kind of like what happened with the EP. I think too there was a lot of focus on the poppier elements. I really wanted to kind of flex more of my clean singing on it. Um, on especially on songs like Born from a Wish that are sort of like songs similar to Mirror Maze, but it's just like expanded on. um I'm very much like a revisionist. I feel like when it comes to stuff, like it's like I'll do something and then I'll do it again, but I'll pick the parts that I like of it and I'll be like, okay, well, now we're going to work on this more and we're going to expand this more and keep making it you know bigger and building off of that, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think it's just more of a dramatic approach to sort of the polarizing aspects of I Will Destroy You. Brighter and heavier.
We're actually pretty close to this on the same wavelength too. So I would say it's like less metal, I guess, but like
Mm,
just as extreme. So it's
mm,
more like leaning into like the electronic elements, I guess.
mm.
Yeah, like that's
Oh, we got Robert Cardi in the chat. What's up, big dog? Love you. And we also
uh
got my boy Jake Checkaway in here too. Shee.
But yeah, I
And
love
Brand
the more
Duffer.
like poppier aspects coming in. Like you were doing a lot of some clean singing on like the album, but here
Mm,
it seems more melodic, I guess is a good way to put it.
mm,
It I don't know.
mm,
Always seemed like there was like a atmosphere of like intensity on the album, but on the EP
mm,
you let the melodic parts shine a little bit more, if that makes sense, I guess. Am I
mm.
wrong? Am I completely off base here?
No, no, it's yeah. I mean, like I said, it's the extreme. I wanted to push the extremes of like both the aspects of my music, like on the EP. And definitely like more of a clean singing, like pop oriented like element for sure. Um, yeah, I definitely wanted to like make some more like prettier, kind of like alien esque, like kind of weirdo moments with it. Like I feel like I always try to like dip my hands in like a genre, like, or at least when I do, it's like I always try to at least make it my own, or if I am, I'm like failing miserably at like emulating the sound. But I don't know. I kind of always like the results of it, because I think at the time, I was kind of listening to a lot of like Charlie XCX and like 100 Gex and artists like that. So I kind of wanted to like have the focus of like trying to sing more, trying to put like more clean vocal stuff out. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think the turnout was pretty sick on it.
CDOS Kez in chat saying, "Oh shit, what up? Thought Crime loves Zombie Shark. How's it going,
And
Kez?"
Zombie Shark was, oh shit. Yo, shouts out Kez, shouts out Digital Drift.
uh, so yeah, how have your influences changed since you started doing the EP? I guess it's kind of, you said it was like the same as you were when you were doing, you were working on this when you did your album. So I guess they're like the
Hmm.
same influences, or
Not well, I mean, not really. I mean, um I think for like I Will Destroy You, a lot of my influences I was kind of like digging up from old like classic like MySpace scene core uh albums like Attack Attack and like I Set My Friends on Fire and like Gangastron and like a lot of those things. Like a lot of that was like a huge focus. Um I guess you could say that like some of these songs at least were still coming from the same influences because they're honestly kind of old at this point. I'd say now, like going into the LP, because I've been working on that like pretty much like this whole time, and I think my influences now have definitely been geared toward a lot more um I'd say like industrial, like mathier kind of direction. Like I've definitely haven't been listening to as much pop recently as I was, like especially during like later last year. So I'd say like at least for now, currently not reflecting of the EP, but I like still kind of there. Like a lot of like the Silent Hill like 2 and 3 soundtracks are have been like incredibly inspiring. Um, they're really great because like I know like most people don't probably try to like sit down and like really like spend time with like soundtracks, but um
Well, aren't
like
they like just like ambient sort of like I don't
well
know.
there's ambient, there's industrial, there's like trip hop moments, there's songs that even like teeter on like shoegaze.
Huh.
So I'd say like a lot of like that. I've also been like super into like Chat Pile recently.
Oh yeah.
That band has really been like a huge influence. I'd say like a lot of like shoegaze too. Right now, anything kind of like hard or like dark ambient stuff. So I think a lot of that's like coming out on like the new LP right now currently.
Um okay, so lyrics. You got some interesting lyrics I just wanted to go over real quick. On
Yeah.
Smile Support Society, it says, I hope when you get to heaven, I hope there's cake and yogurt. So do you eat cake and yogurt and it's not cake and ice cream? You just have like a weird childhood or something?
No, no, nah, a lot of my lyrics are kind of like innuendos and like other kind of like references to like other things that are maybe even so microscopic that like other people like wouldn't even get it. Like sometimes it's like saying talking like inside jokes to myself half the time
Hmm.
on some of these lyrics. So yeah, I don't know. A lot of like Smile Support and some of the other tracks like have like kind of like a bigger meaning to it, and a lot of it kind of like reflects back to like uh either like childhood stuff or things like growing up like in key memories and like other kind of like influential things. So I should really do a better job of like breaking my lyrics down, because I've always liked the way that like you go about a release. Like you always like release like your lyrics like uh when you finish a project, and I've been really inspired by that. So I feel like maybe like for the next album I should like do that and like maybe have like more of a content like kind of breakdown on it. Um
Well, since you're an artist too, you can make it look really fucking sick. Like me, I just type that shit out and throw it in like a square or whatever.
It still looks good though. I'd say like Smile Support definitely as a whole like is kind of just about like cutting like toxicity out of your life and like toxic people, and uh a lot of like some weird like innuendo like stuff like that is just like something that is like so personal to me that I probably couldn't even like get into it right now. But I'd say as a whole, like uh it's about cutting toxicity, and like cake and yogurt you could equate it to some outstanding negative traits to some people that I might know that like have kind of affected me in some kind of way. So it's tough. I'll do like I should do a better breakdown of all the lyrics off the EP like maybe next week or something.
It's just an interesting like couple of words to put together because it's not even frozen yogurt. It's like just the yogurt like and ice cream. Like, it's just such a weird combo. I had to bring that one up. Uh, um, so you had another odd one. Or was it for Grim Reaper Gutters? Drink until you're dead, go splat. Drink until you're dead, dancing with the dead. We'll cut your head off, make your grave a bed. Tiptoe to the kitchen while we pick your bones out from our feet. So, how is this person dying exactly? I don't understand. They drink until you're dead, and then you just go splat. Just like they explode. I guess.
I so I was kind of writing that song, so it was funny. So that's a song that features Rob Accardi, and I so funny story about that whole thing. So Rob was actually originally I had reached out to him like maybe like 3 years ago. I had found him out like long before like Dr. Ocula was even like and thinking of coming back. And we had started talking, and he was like really cool, and I was like, hey, man, like really, really like loved your vocals and on Slob, and Slob itself is like such an influential, like experimental, like deathcore, mathcore release to me. Like if there's ever a possibility you'd be interested in doing guest vocals on the song. And Rob is just like one of the nicest, coolest people I've ever met in my life. He was so about it and like fucked with it really hard. He didn't have like recording equipment at the time. So but he said that, he's like, hey, like I'm going to do this guest feature for you, like whatever. So I was going to have him on keyboards for Insects on I Will Destroy You when it was coming out. And it wasn't in the cards like at the time, just because Rob was unfortunately didn't have like the equipment to like record. But he kept the promise of, like, hey, you know what, like we're still going to do this. And I kept in contact with him, and fortunate enough to be like such great friends with him now and the rest of the band. So eventually the time came, like maybe a year and a half ago, when I started working on Grim Reaper Gutters, and I kind of wanted to just make a song that sort of encapsulated like the Slob kind of qualities. Like I kind of like put myself in a place where I'm like, okay, in my own like demented mind, I'm gonna make a Slob song. So I kind of wrote these lyrics in a sort of like kind of like classic Dr. Ocula, like shit talky, goofy esque kind of like horror story, murder story kind of thing. So like the whole concept of like poisoning the punch on your enemies, and the whole like almost like a Dahmer-esque like tiptoeing through the kitchen picking your bones out from our feet like kind of thing. So kind of keep it like a true crime kind of like goofy weird kind of thing, which like talking it out now and explaining it out loud like probably sounds a lot crazier than it did when I was like working on it. Because most of the time I'm just like working on songs being like, yes, this is fucking gold. Like this totally makes sense. Like this is good. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much like, there's no like real any kind of like seriousness to it. I just kind of wanted to write something like really weird and like almost like true crime-esque for that song. Something that would fit like a Dr. Ocula, like all your shorts are brown and green, like type kind of energy. But also like shouts out Rob too, because he absolutely crushed that part. And I couldn't even fucking believe it when he sent me that. I was so stoked. That's probably like my favorite song I will ever make in my entire life. And I'm just so fucking happy that happened, because like, I mean, at least for me, like, I mean, I always like, I liked Tyler's vocals too, like in Dr. Ocula, but I feel like at least Rob's like on that era were so iconic and had such like the biggest impact on me and that whole era of the band. So I had sought Rob out like way before, like long past like I said, the reformation and everything. And because I was specifically wanted him for it. And I just like took a shot in the dark, just being like, yo, like, I know this is so whack. I have this like crazy, weird music project, but like y'all have like influenced me like so much in my life. I would literally love for you to like, in some way we could like make a collaboration happen. And I'm so happy I did. And he was cool enough to even like be in the music visualizer for it too. So I don't know.
Oh,
I think I
is
could
he?
die
I didn't
happy.
see that. Oh my.
Yeah. Rob filmed his part for the music visualizer too, which I couldn't fucking believe. I was trying to hold back fangirling so hard on that.
Really, that's.
I was so fucking stoked.
I gotta say, I never saw that visualizer, but now I gotta seek it out. Cool as
Yeah,
fuck.
it's up there. Everything like I said kind of got like botched release wise for the EP, but yeah, it's out there. It definitely is. It's on my channel. I think it's like the last thing I uploaded.
Okay. Okay. You also got to play. Is it just one show with Doctor Acula, or did you do a couple?
Just one show,
Okay.
and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's sick.
It was Dr. Ocula, P.S. You're Dead. Um, my good friends in Fever Dreams were on it, which was like their second to last show, which was like super emotional. They absolutely crushed it. Yeah, definitely. Again, Grimmy Burgutter's best song I've ever made. Playing with Dr. Acula, best show I've ever played.
That's fucking sick. Rob's in chat saying you're the best. Corey, song was a blast to do.
He's a fucking man. I love you, Rob. Oh my god.
And then the last note I had for the lyrics, from "Born from a Wish," the catch, I'm sorry, the hook that you have in that song. Be careful what you wish for; it just might come true. That's so fucking good, dude. When that came on, I was just like, oh shit, like that's so good. That's my favorite song that I think that you've ever made. Probably, it's so
Shit.
fucking catchy, dude. Like, I just gotta give a shout out to that. Really, really. Feel
Respect, man.
like if
Thank
you
you
just
so
like
much.
push in that direction, like I want to see what else you can do.
Shit,
Um,
thank you.
absolutely. So the recording process. It says
Mhm.
guitar, bass, and mixing by Sam Carlin. I thought that you did
Mhm.
everything.
So yeah, so it's like I write everything and do like all the synths and like programming. Like every synth you hear, like song structure wise, is as it is like on my like FL Studio files. So pretty much like working with Sam pretty much was like the same thing we did on I Will Destroy You, where I had um like a really shitty like guitar plugin that I've been using for a while. Um on this EP, Sam pretty much like took like those MIDI guitar parts and then like retracked um live guitar over it
Okay.
with some like subtle changes to like riffs or notes or something. The guitars are still like almost exactly to how like my MIDI is. Sam also tracked some live bass for that too on some parts. So um, we it was cool. Like I've always liked that process a lot because sometimes like too like the songs are like going so crazy. Like I think Idiot Machine is like 300 and something BPM, so obviously like he can't play like those like super ridiculous glitchy technical parts. So it's fun to like do that stuff because we can like slow it down to halftime and then like speed it up and like chop and like resample the guitars and like pretty much like treat them like samples essentially going through. So yeah, Sam pretty much is just like one of my producers who I've worked with in the past. For the new LP, I've been working with Jeff McKinnon and Evan Seeberger. They recently just did the new Varials LP that just came out,
Oh.
Stars to Remember. And for I think for a lot of the new direction that I'm heading in, I think we're gonna keep. There's gonna be a stark sound quality and change and difference to the music. Um, on that, we're pretty much like abandoning all live guitar after the CP. So for anybody that was like a huge fan of that, we're completely changing it to keep it more like synthetic and industrial. So we're using like all like we're doing some really gross shit. We're still using some of my old FL Slayer guitars and then mixing it with like some other like kind of program guitars, so it creates this really like harrowing, gross guitar tone for some of the news tracks. Um, but yeah, I pretty much like still do like everything in Zombie Shark. It's just I have a couple steps when it comes to like writing the music. Like I just like take it to I just take it to like a producer to help like elevate stuff because I always like having like second opinions like on my mixes, or if there's like people that like know a lot more about like music and mixing and stuff like that. Like I always when I get like a second opinion or see how we can make something like bigger, if there's something that I don't know how to do, like I'm always open to like making it crazier. And Jeff McKinnon also mastered this EP too. So I was so impressed by his mastering. Because even the mixes that we had before the final version that's out now were so different compared to the masters we got back from Jeff. So Sam ended up being like too busy to work on this next LP, and I kind of wanted to like get like a full like studio experience on it. So and I was so impressed with like Jeff's quality on the master. I was like, I gotta like get in there and work with this guy and like do like a full album with him and like make something crazy.
Well, you kind of answered my next question. It was gonna be why do you use like real guitar and stuff like that?
Mm.
Like dude from Unicorn Hole, I'm pretty sure uses shreddage to get like
Mhm.
his guitars and stuff on there. So
Mhm.
are you like moving in that direction then, like using just a VST to do all that stuff, or yeah?
Yeah, pretty much. Not to count out that like I'm not like fully opposed to using like live guitar. Like there's some songs
Well, I feel
on
like
the
you just
new
don't
album.
need it though. Like everything else is like
Yeah,
electronic. So like I
yeah.
honestly some parts on this EP I couldn't even tell there was guitar happening because it was just
Mm.
like so like everything was
Right,
like hard and chaotic and stuff. So it's like you know what I mean.
right. No, yeah, so like definitely going for the shreddage vibe, mainly because also too like the new EP, like I think the songs don't even really sound like songs in a way. Like I feel like they're just sort of like brutal, like ass beating industrial like noises. And I think like even trying to like do a live guitar over some of this new stuff like would be impossible and just wouldn't have the same outcome for the amount of work. There is still some moments though that we're chiming in with some real guitar, at least layering it into the mix, like something that we can get like just like in some areas where it needs an organic feel or needs that, it makes sense to put it in there, still being fed through our filters and everything. But I think that was kind of like, at least working on this EP kind of made me realize that I want to do that. I think when I was working on I Will Destroy You, I feel like it made sense to take that approach, like live track guitar over it. And I feel like that was okay because the songs were crazy, but they weren't like super insane. Um, and even on the EP, like there's some moments where it really kind of like I personally didn't think that it really needed it, but I'm happy with how it came out. But I think like definitely going forward, at least like that really like real authentic cyber grind, like industrial, chaotic sound, and just giving it like that gross quality. I think like synthetic guitar plugins is for sure the way we're heading.
Oh, guitars on Agon. Is that how you pronounce that song?
Agonestes.
Agonestes. Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay. It was performed by Lilith from P.S. You're Dead, and you had
no
guest
shit.
vocals on. Guest vocals for Robert Cardi, obviously. So, how did you get Lilith involved?
Shouts out Lilith, Lilith 2, shouts out PS You're Dead. Um Lilith is just like a really fucking awesome person. I was very fortunate to meet her this summer. And we've kind of been like talking like on and off, just casually, like either via Twitter or whatever. And yeah, they're just incredibly talented. We also kind of like understand each other, I think, and way of like we both kind of have like sort of like witch house, like trap, like sad, like trap beat projects and everything. So we kind of like understand each other on that level, and she's just somebody that I really trust a lot musically. Um, and I wanted to collab for a while, and I like literally can't play guitar to like save my life, and I knew that I really wanted to have like an acoustic intro to the project. Um, Sam and I had like started a couple versions of it, but like I have such a bad time like trying to like articulate like what it is I'm like specifically looking for if it's not like with like examples. Um and Lilith is like I said like somebody who I like trust immensely, and she was making some guitar loops for me for my project. And I just reached out to her and I was like, hey, like would you be down to just write like an intro riff for my EP? And she was super cool about it, like cranked it out like in a day. And then I like went and like tweaked it and like did like a whole bunch of weird effects on it, like added some noise build up, and yeah, it came out like so sick. I was so stoked on it. Um, and I've been using it for like live shows and everything, and it's been pretty cool because I just sort of like do like noise over that whole build up, and it just sounds incredible. Yeah, shouts out Lilith, shouts out PS You're Dead.
Fall 50 Feet's in chat says Zombie Shark, more like Zombie Goat. And they
Oh
said
shit.
you need a ukulele intro for the next project.
Yo, if anyone in chat wants to donate some ukulele to me, hit my DMs. I will absolutely do it. I need Jim from Fall 50 Feet playing ukulele on it, honestly.
Sleeping on
Yeah.
Stardust says I got you, homie.
Yo, shouts out Sleeping on Stardust. Let's get it. Let's make something happen. Hit me up on Twitter.
So you did the art for the project, obviously. Got up on stream now. What are we looking at exactly?
Oh God, I don't even know. It's pretty gross looking. Um, no, so I pretty much like after I Will Destroy You, I've been really into the idea of faces as album covers. And this is sort of like the next iteration of it. I kind of want like the faces to get uglier per album. Um, I always have like I had like little weird names for like all of them. Like I Will Destroy You is uh fucking Blue Devil. This one is called Wishmaster. Um, and yeah, I don't know. Over the pandemic, I got super into HR Giger, who's artist who did he designed like Alien or the Alien from Aliens, like the whole franchise.
Yeah.
He also did like the character design for Species and like been one of my favorite artists since like childhood. And over the pandemic, my amazing partner just got me like tons of books on Geiger, and he does like a lot of like fleshy biomechanical like combinations and like makes these really horrific like hollow kind of like dystopian monstrosities with like airbrush and everything. And I think aside from like a lot of people probably only know me for like my like bright, colorful kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
like
Like
cartoony type of stuff.
yeah, I have like a lot of like another portfolio that's just that I haven't really shared too much. That's a lot more of like the darker kind of like industrial photo collage esque like kind of stuff. So yeah, pretty much like nothing like super like in depth for this one. Just wanted to make something that was like really ugly and like sort of alien looking to like how the music sounds. I've always been like a huge fan of like the contrast of like album artwork not quite reflecting the vibe of like the album, like Duck Duck Goose, like Noise 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 for example, you know, was like a children's like drawing, but then it's like the most like horrific like fucking like mathcore, like they're just talking about like the most brutal shit. So I kind of wanted to like approach it in a way where it was like something really gross and like kind of uncomfortable that kind of like reflects like the music, because I feel like the pop stuff on here is a bit like polarizing or gross or like uncomfortable in a way, and like I kind of wanted the artwork to kind of have that effect or just give people like a kind of vibe when they're like listening to it. I want people to feel gross or like get a sickening feeling when they're listening to it or looking at the album artwork or something. The next LP album artwork, I just finally started to work on it, and it's horrendous looking. Not going to share that for a long time, but it's if people think that this is gross and weird now, it's going to get a lot grosser and a lot weirder.
No, I really dig this. The teeth being like upside down as opposed to how it would be in a normal human's mouth is like what really like makes me like I don't know, kind of get freaked out by it. But it's so good. It's so good, man. Yeah. At first, I kind of thought it was like something that's more fit for like a I don't know, like tech death band or something like that. But
Mhm.
I don't know. It fits really fucking well for the style for your style. I can't put a finger on why exactly, but this works super well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, like I said, I just wanted to make something that was very alien and very like extraterrestrial or something, because it's kind of like how I feel about like a lot of the album. Like I feel like it's a weird project, and you know, like I said, some of the layers and everything, like on some of the clean vocals, sound kind of gross, or at least when I listened to back to it, sometimes like there's some moments where even I'm just kind of like, ugh, you know? And I'm like, oh, this is like really creepy and like kind of weird, you know? So I don't know. It's kind of like a follow up from like I Will Destroy You too. Like I kind of want to like at least at some point um do some like world building or something, you know? Like I was kind of doing that with like I Will Destroy You's artwork like a little bit, like and I kind of follow like the same kind of like aspects like per album release. I didn't get to fully explore it as much on this EP, but I know for like the LP and everything, I'm going to try and like find a way where like all of these like pieces kind of connect in some way. Maybe not like on the nose, but like I'm going to be doing like a lot of artwork for the LP, and hopefully people will like see like, oh wow, like this is like a whole kind of network, or like trying to give it like an area where like my music can exist in a way or something.
Okay.
Not explaining that well at all.
No, let's see here. You did a music video also. Get
Oh
that
shit.
playing while we're music video for Smile Support Society. So the helmet thing, is that like real? Like you built that or some shit?
Yeah, I do. Shit. I forgot. Oh my god, I should have brought it up before we hopped on. It's in my basement still. I literally just left it on the chair as soon as we were done. But yeah, it was really cool. Shouts out Bob McCoy. He's an amazing videographer. Every metalcore band should hire Bob McCoy. Hit him up on Instagram, Facebook. He's the fucking goat. Yeah, I pretty much made it from cardboard, and I bought like some weird, like corny, futuristic single shade visors, and then I just glued like a bunch of wires and cables. I put an ad out on my local free and for sale group that I was looking for like an abundance of unused cables and like cords and all this stuff. So I spent like an entire week gathering like just a giant contractor bag of like plugs and cables and all this gross shit. And I like sat and glued it all in and like spray painted it and like did some like dark washes on it and try to get it like as real looking as possible. And then too, you can't really see it like too much in some areas, but like the big like array of like wires behind my head were just like all part of that too. We just like tied them together and like attached them. We filmed it in the basement of my house, and it was cool. We like turned it into like a total like kill room. We got like this giant like contractor plastic and like hung it around the walls and like hung like cables and stuff from it. And then I made like a bunch of like fake blood and like put it all over me and everything. Made it look like some kind of like trap from Saw 2 or something.
Okay, yeah, I kind of see that. No, it looks sick as fuck, man. Are you planning on using that for a live performance? That would be.
I would if I could like see out of it, and if it wasn't like still covered in like gross like fake blood. It's like actually like really sticky and like smells really bad.
Ah, okay.
And it actually like hurts a lot like wearing it. Yeah, and yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of like it was one of those things where we spent like the day filming it, and then like afterwards I just like threw it on the ground. I'm like, I'm not wearing this anymore. But I do have it. I should put it up on my merch store or something. See if
Yeah,
anybody wants to buy it.
that's fucking sick.
Yeah,
Um,
shouts out Bob McCoy though, for real. He's just super awesome. He's Philadelphia local. He does like a ton of work for like metal bands and stuff. Actually, I think he's like filming for like Era right now. Like he like went
oh,
on tour with them and is like their road photographer now. But if it in his downtime, like he takes like commissions for like music videos from bands and stuff. And he's a very good friend of mine. We've been friends like even before we filmed this, and it was just like an honor to like finally like get to work with him on like something sick. He absolutely bodied that.
that's sick. So What future plans you got? You're talking about like an album for next year or whatever, but you
Mm.
have like shows coming up. You got a tour, maybe anything like that.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff. I'm a bit of a fucking unorganized mess right now, but like shit's happening. It was a really weird year, honestly. It was very weird. I think you know, uh it feels like the first like real year back from the pandemic. I know that's really not a great way to like kind of look at it, but it feels like it's like the first like year of like normalcy. But with
Yep.
that, like I kind of feel like I haven't. It was like the first year where I've had fully had to like kick myself in the ass to like get adjusted to like everything, and a lot of things have been going on, and it's been like really hard to like focus on a lot of things. But I spend most of this year like finally working on like my next LP, which is like a huge follow up from I Will Destroy You. I've put probably like 80% of my life into this thing this year, and it's cool because we're finally kind of like hitting the home stretch of it. Just waiting on like a couple guest features and a couple some mixing stuff like here and there. Um, Pretty much I'm gonna try and just continue to focus on that for the rest of this year and into next year. Gonna start like trying to like prep for like music videos and getting everything like all that like arranged for it. I've also been working on a couple new side projects too, that I've kind of loosely talked about on Twitter recently. But me and one of my best friends, Alex from Ascent Like Wolves, we actually have like a really cool mathcore project we've been working on that's very much like a arsonist get all the girls meets like heavy heavy low low worship project that's coming
Nice.
along really fucking sick. We've got like 10 songs for that already, so I'm literally over Thanksgiving. um we're going to track some vocals for that, and that's something we've been working on. I have another cyber grind project that I literally just started like a week ago that's already coming out like really sick. I'm probably going to drop that EP early next year. On top of that, like I said, figuring out what to do with the LP for next year. um, Show wise, I actually have one coming up tomorrow at this really sick space in Philly called Luigi's Mansion, playing with my good friend Dave from Hallucinogenic Bulb. That's going to be really sick. If anyone in the chat wants to come pull up, say hi, hang out, it's going to be tight. And then I have one more show for the end of the year. I'm playing in Maryland December 3rd inside of a skate shop at a local mall. I've played there
Nice.
once before, and it's probably one of like the coolest spaces I've ever played. So I think there's a lot of really sick cyber grind artists that are coming up on that too.
That's
Viscera
got to
and
be such like a hard place to load in, like a skate shop in a mall. Like,
no, it's mad easy because it's like the first like storefront like from the main entrance. So it's
okay.
actually it's easy as fuck. You can like park like right on the street and just haul your stuff in. This
I'm
spot's
here thinking you
cool.
have to like go through the Macy's or whatever with all this shit in your hands, go up
No,
escalators and stuff.
no, it's a really weird mall. It's a weird space in general. It's kind of like a half mall or something, and it's like out in the middle of nowhere, like kind of thing. But like people like still like pull up to this because it's like the only like real like DIY venue out there. Lurking Class Skate Shop. It's like one of the sickest spots. They've got like a half pipe in there and shit, and like people are like skating while like you're rocking out
That's
and
sick.
shit. I've seen like I I would go down and like visit one of my other best friends down in Maryland a bunch, and like I've caught like a bunch of like sick shows. Like I saw like Reaper's Gong there. His other power violence band, Piss Corpse, is fucking awesome. Like it's such a cool like spot, and I'm so excited because the whole lineup is just like stacked. So those are the only
Real
shows.
quick, real quick. Don't
Oh yeah.
stress flower press. Thank you so much for gifting the subs. You are fucking awesome.
Yo, shouts out, don't
Shout out.
stress. Shouts out Matt Klein, like seriously, one of the realest
Fucking sick.
legends out there. Um, but yeah, so for like next year, um, I really want to tour next year. I'm really looking for
I'm surprised you hadn't been touring a lot already. Like I kind of figure, since you're like an artist and stuff and do all this art for bands and stuff, you're kind of like in my position where I'm bringing on all these people and talking to them. Like you have
right.
relationships with random people all over the country. I'm sure.
Yeah, it's just tough right now. Like I said, I mean, like this year was definitely like I think a lot of the fault of not touring is totally on me for this. I just like I said, there's a lot of I was really unorganized like this year, and I think for like going forward, like next year, um, I really want to do that. Just mainly looking for like bands I want to just go up for like weekenders and whatnot. I have some things I'm talking to a couple bands right now. Hopefully we can line something up and like get out that way. I really need to get to Texas. Need to get to Texas so bad. Need to play with you. Need to play with From Joy. Need to play with Ghost House. Um, need to play with Karama. There's a lot. The Houston scene just sounds fucking amazing, and I'm super envious of everyone that gets to experience that. The shows look fucking cool. So, um, yeah, it's. I think next year, especially since the album will be done and a lot of the chaos will have settled down by this point. Um, I think next year I can really like kind of like put a lot of focus into like doing tours and getting out there and really playing a lot. So
Oh
we'll
yeah.
see. Bands, if you're in the chat, hit me up. Let's do some shit. Let's play some shows. Let's do some tours.
Um, Don't stress says you have a place to stay in Austin if you come.
Oh, yo, thank you so much. Yo, shouts out Matt again.
um. So yeah, since we last talked, you played some shows. What's the best show you've done? I'm pretty sure I know which one it is, but
Best show this year, hands down, was getting to open for Dr. Acula. Literally, I mean, for as much of a fan of the band as I am, and just being able to work on the single with Rob, um, you know, it was sick. The whole lineup was cool. Getting to play with PS You're Dead finally was like fucking awesome. They crushed that show. Um, everything was just like perfect about it, honestly. The turnout was sick. Um, Dr. Ocula played every single song I wanted to hear. It was just like it was surreal. It was so crazy because I it was definitely one of those moments where it's like, I don't really like I don't really ask for much or like seek out like a lot of like holy shit, like I need to play like these big fucking shows or whatever, but there's some shows that really like are those bucket list, like this means the world to me type gigs, and that was like on the nose one of them. Getting to meet like Rob, Bill, Lou, Jay Dino, which was crazy. It was just it's cool, and it's sick too that like I'm like friends with all those guys now, which is also something that I never thought would like happen. So um that shit just really means a lot to me, and it was just fucking it was great. um yeah, definitely out of this whole year, I think that one was probably like the best.
um, Sleeping on Stardust says you ever gonna try and do another live from Hell World online type show in the future?
um I don't know. I mean, like I'd be down if like it was weird then because like it was all during the pandemic and everything. So um and I was like playing shows like a lot before the pandemic happened. So I think for me, like I was feeling like super charged up then, and I really wanted to like set up this online show because um like virtual shows, like the whole virtual show thing was honestly really sick. It was really cool, like a lot of the bands that
I
were
thought it
able to
was
pull
sick
that shit
too.
off. It was fucking awesome.
And
Like
people
it's
put like
such
a
a
lot of production value in it too. So,
Oh yeah,
nice.
I mean like everybody who did that was so cool. And I think like too, I mean like when I did Hell World, I was telling everyone, like, hey, like this is going to be, it's not live, so you don't have to worry about like technical stuff. Like just do like a pre-filmed set, and like add your own effects and whatever. And like it was one of those like beautiful things where like everybody just fucking did an awesome job. When I was doing it, um, my old at my old house was definitely a lot bigger than the spot I'm in now. And I don't our landlord was a lot more chill because like I had tore up so much paint by like taping like trash bags like all over our kitchen. Like there was so much like setup that went into like doing that. And then not only filming the whole thing, then like editing like the whole stream and like the premiere and everything. Like I was up for like 2 days straight, and I remember like just being down to like the final hour of like working on that. So it was a lot. I could do it again. Uh, I just don't know if like the production value would be the same, because like my roommate who filmed it, like he really like made that what it was. He's very busy, and it would be really hard for me to like set something up like that again. And I think personally for me, like I just want to get out there and like play some like real shows and like really like travel and do a lot of that stuff. Um, so we'll see. If I think if by next year, if I'm not really doing like a lot of what I'm hopefully planning to do, then I probably will set up like another like online fest and like um probably get some like cool acts. I think if I do it again next time, I definitely want to get more, and then I think maybe just make it like a whole like miniature festival online kind of thing. But it just depends, because I think the big reason why that was so successful was because it was the pandemic and everyone was kind of like locked down and unable to go to shows. And I think like a show of that caliber was just really not being like reproduced, like especially for like cyber acts and stuff. I mean, James from Blind Equation like absolutely like murdered his set. Mikal did an amazing job. Like Steven from Got Item uh did a really sick show. Dave, like, put a bunch of effort into like the visuals and like was doing like the noise in between like the transitions and everything. So it was a lot of work. It's definitely I think one of my favorite projects like I've ever put together doing Zombie Shark. It's just, I think for me, it's just, it was so much effort and the payoff was so good. I'm worried that if the payoff might not be as good because it's not the pandemic, but I don't know. We'll see.
Should do a
We'll
real
see.
life big money cyber grind fest.
Trying to get it to happen. That's definitely something that's on a bucket list thing for me next year for sure. And I think I'm definitely gonna like try and set that up. I want to set it up, and I want to make it at least like a 2-day thing. And get like a lot of like my friends out and everything.
It's a lot of
Get,
cyber
like,
grind. 2 days.
but I honestly feel like now more than ever, like Cybergrind is at such a all-time peak popularity that I think now it makes perfect sense to like set up that festival. I'd even say like maybe even as far as like this year, it could have been like hit and miss maybe, but I think like next year. I mean, especially with so many bands out here like us, like putting so much work into it and everything. I think it definitely just needs to happen next year.
Well, there's some people in chat that want to see that happen. People on started saying, "Let's go, fall 50 feet, big money, cyber grind, goaded. Don't just flower press. BMC Fest is a dream. So get on that shit.
Shit.
Make that happen."
Oh shit. Oh, I haven't even looked at the chat until now. Oh shit. Yeah, we're gonna make it happen one way or another. A big money cyber grind fest, or just big electronic core fest. Something we're gonna make happen next year for sure.
large profit cyber grind. I fucking love that.
Long dollar cyber grind.
So yeah, what's the worst show you've played since we last talked?
It's been a lot. Not really. No, I don't know. There was only one that was kind of like kind of like a not so great one. I got asked last minute to like play this like show that was at like this kind of like really shitty DIY house spot recently, and it was with a pretty like big touring band, and I don't even think they wanted to play this show. Like all the other bands were great, but like the sound system was fucking horrible. Like the PA was just non-existent. And I should have just known, like going there and just seeing the first two bands having like no vocals and the PA was like a bad. Like I'm sure you already know as being a fellow cybergrind artist that PA speakers are either your best friends or worst fucking
Right.
nightmare. And the PA speaker was definitely not being kind to me that night. The touring band pretty much wanted to play like in the middle of the set so they could like get out of there, which I kind of understood. Um, but and like it was a crazy packed show. Like there's no reason why it shouldn't have been great. Um, and then when they left, like the party was over. Like as soon as they got done playing, like there was probably like 80 kids in that whole house. Everyone like dipped. And
Damn.
because I was supposed to open for it, but then I was going after them, and uh I was like fumbling trying to like figure out the PA situation. It was literally just like in this empty basement, um trying to get my like PA to work. Everything was like completely fried. I like went up. I was like, you know what? Like I'm just gonna shut this down. And then I just like packed up and left. By the time I got upstairs, like everybody was just kind of like the people I guess who live there were just sort of like chilling, like hanging out, and like everyone else like had just gone and left. I mean, it was a great show. I had a great time watching everyone else. Like I honestly was almost like was like, you know what? I probably would have just had a better time like just attending this show as an attendee rather than like playing it, which I guess didn't even matter anyway. I just like like I just walked into this house with this big heavy ass box full of shit and then just like left.
I pretty much had the same thing happen to me recently on my last tour too.
Oh
So yeah, I
god.
totally feel it, man. Like that literally happened to me too. In a
Yeah, I mean
basement
it was
also.
yeah, I mean like it wasn't anyone's like fault really, but yeah, it was just one of those things where I was just like, God, this is the simulation has gone like full nightmare mode right now. And I'm like, I was like sitting there for like 20 minutes trying to like get my backtracks to work, and it was just like harsh noise static. And the only person who was in the basement was like the dude who was like handing out beers, and I was just like, hey, I was like, like where like anyone is, and like homie's literally on his phone. He looks up, he's like, and then just goes right to it. I was like, okay, all right. I was like, well, I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna peace out. Fucking later. So,
uh
yeah, that was pretty bad.
so right now all your merch is sold out. You have plans to
Hmm.
restock anything?
Yeah, so all the merch is currently being printed right now. I should have everything like within at least like 2 weeks. I know the wall flags are coming in next week. Long sleeves should be here by Thanksgiving. Um, so all of that's getting printed right now and will go out. I have extras of everything. So after I play the December show, I'm just gonna put up like all of my remaining merch, and I'll make a big post about it when it happens. There's also top secret, but there's also perhaps maybe possibly wink wink nudge nudge of a repress happening of one specific Cybergrind album happening soon. So
Oh,
I'll have
nice.
details on that soon. That'll be pretty cool. But you didn't hear that from me, and it's a total lie and not happening, JK. Don't trust me. I'm a liar.
Uh so I guess we can wrap this up with your current album of the year.
My current album of the year. There's a bunch of albums. um, I mean, for one, new Dr. Acula album, self-titled. It's incredible. It's amazing. It's literally like the album that I've always wanted from them. Feel like it just sort of like encapsulates every best aspect of their entire career, like um into one project. Really fucking love that. Big fan of the new Sawtooth Grin album that came out. Good. That easily worked its way up into my top albums list. Can't fucking leave out Callous Cowboys, Celebrity Therapist. I literally listen to Star Baby all the time and just cry my eyes out all the time. I'm literally always crying, and people ask me why, and I'm like, I've got Star Baby playing. And songs that just completely, absolutely wreck my shit too. It's that one. I'd say too for like crazy electronic stuff. The new John Askus album that came out, "Sitting on the Edge of the Earth." That album is like probably one of the most like forward thinking electronica. I don't even want to say hyper pop, like I don't know, like electronic pop metal albums to come out.
Huh.
Genuinely like some of like the sickest, like most forward thinking music I've listened to. That and the new Fire Tools EP. Today I will not use the body's eyes. Vedic Software is just like one of the most mind-blowing songs I've ever heard in my life. I like listen to Fire Tools and I'm like, this is like what I like. I want to make music that's so just fucking crazy, like like so bad. Angel is like one of the most talented brilliant human beings on the face of the fucking planet and blows my mind with every release, especially with her output. That EP is so nuts. It's cool because like I feel like where Angel like kind of had roots in like vaporwave and has now like pushed that sound so far that it's not even vaporwave anymore. It's not even like cybergrind. It's not like anything. It's just like purely experimental, like electronica. I feel like I've taken that as a huge window for like the new LP. Because I'd say even like now, because I'm probably not even going to have a chance to really talk about this like until it's out or nearing it being out. But like I can definitely say that the new like Zombieshark stuff is like I felt the same way with like Cybergrind, where I've really wanted to like push the genre so fucking far that it's not even like that anymore, you know? Like it's crazy. And I feel like I can't like really articulate it, but like in the same way that what like Fire Tools does to like Vaporwave and Cybergrind is kind of like the approach that I really want to like take, or it's the thing that like inspires me the most because um I listen to that EP all the time, and I'm like, it's so dense and so layered, and I feel like I'm hearing like new things like every time I like listen back to a track. The vocal like scream productions, like I don't know what Angel did on this release, but they sound her screams are horrific. They're terrifying. It's so scary because it's just like there's these moments of like this like nice calm like jazz like atmospheric like moment, and then like her screams come in like black metal but like compressed and like digitized. It's like Jesus Christ. Sorry I'm like rambling about this, but like everyone here should listen to Fire Tools. Sleeping on Stardust said music too. It's like music like 5, I think. That shit's fucking crazy.
I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna have to check it out. It's
Yeah.
like Fire Space Tools, right?
Yep, and it's like TOOLZ, and then the new EP is Today I Will Not Use the Body's Eyes. Holy shit. Listen to Vedic Software and then like let me know what you think of that, because I've been showing that to everybody. I'm just like this is like the next step in human evolution is right here.
Sleeping on Stardust says that the screams remind them of old school Emperor.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. It's like black metal meets vaporwave done in the best fucking possible way. Insane shit. Insane.
And Fall 50 Feet, after you mentioned that you were definitely not reprinting a certain record, they said that they have to sell their copy now to make max profit. Just wanted to shout that out because I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, definitely cash in on your Zombieshark cryptocurrency now while you can. The new crypto ZS Cybergrind coin is about to drop and make everybody rich.
Well, is there anything else you want to say before we head on out?
Yeah, shouts out Fall 50 Feet, because they're mad goated and they're sweethearts. And Lonely If You Go is a fucking awesome EP, and they're working on some new cool
You
stuff.
mean Lonely If You Goated?
Lonely If You Goated. Hey yo. No, shouts out. I love Dave. If I saw Dave right now, I'd give him a kiss on his forehead. Miss him. Take me on tour again, you punks.
So if you're looking for the future cyber grind, look no further than Zombieshark's new EP, Born From a Wish, which came out back in October. You're on Facebook, Bandcamp, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and all streaming platforms. Are there any like links you're trying to send people to?
Links. Follow me on Spotify and Twitter right now. I'm a big dumb cringe boomer and haven't really used TikTok a whole lot as much as I should. But I'm mostly active there and on Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, Bandcamp, all that good stuff. I can send you a link tree stuff for the video or something when you post it on YouTube. But yeah, keep an eye out. I know I've been a mess and have been quiet and releasing things sporadically, but there is a lot of really sick stuff on the horizon. I think the next 2 years are going to be pretty cool, I reckon.
Hell yeah. As for me, drop my channel, follow so you always know when I go live. You can also sub to get access to the interviews before they hit YouTube and streaming services, as well as get some exclusive emotes. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. YouTube folks, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, tickle the notification bell. Don't forget to subscribe. It's a great way to support me for free. Check out my music, The Sound That Ends Creation, at soundthatendskreation@bandcamp.com. My new album, Unicorn Laser Bubblegum City, is out now. My new album, my new EP. Also got some sick merch up there, and I just announced a West Coast tour. Come and see me live. My next guest is Cloud Rat, who dropped their album Threshold back in October through Artifact Records. Join us this Wednesday the 16th at 7 p.m. Central, right here on Twitch for the live cast. Yeah, it's a pretty awesome get. I'm pretty excited. I'm not gonna lie.
That's sick, dude. Seriously, congrats. You've had like so many sick guests recently, man.
Dude, I feel like it's been going really well. So yeah,
that's sick, dude. Congrats.
Thanks for being here, Corey. Hope you had a good time.
Thank you so much, Chris. I'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely, and thank you guys for watching and listening.